And William Tansley, who lost to Ben Kiriakou in the top 8 as well. William is a really great competitor. So coming up on your screen, you will see there he is, Miguel Martí de la Torre, and then we also have Nico Davide Conieta on across from him, and we're going to be able to see their teams. Miguel is going to be running Celesteela, Gigalith, Gastrodon, Tapu Koko, Arcanine, and Garchomp. And once again, a really veteran player here. His trainer record is extremely strong, a multiple world championship attendee, and Nemanja, you know him well. I mean, you've seen his play style. What do you think?
I know him well. Even I lost to him in the 2014 World Championship in the, I think it was last round. So this man is also just awesome for playing. But now also seeing now Davide and his Pokemon team about Crocodile, Tapu Lele, Celesteela, Porygon 2, Arcanine, and Gastrodon. Now we're seeing here a little bit of more defense core in the team. But when we compare this match with Ben Kiriakou's match against Miguel, it's going to be very interesting because Tapu Koko was a very big Pokemon this deal, and I'm not really sure if he's going to have such an impact against this kind of team, because Pokemon like Gastrodon like really to stay a lot into Tapu Koko, so I would be curious how much of an impact Tapu Koko would be against the both player. But now here seeing the handshake, I would just love the fair play.
We are now in the finals, guys. First ever European International Championships. We are ready to go once again. The team for Miguel Martí de la Torre, Arcanine, Celesteela, Garchomp, Gigalith, Tapu Koko and Gastrodon. For Nico Davide Conieta, Celesteela, Tapu Lele, Arcanine, Crocodile, Gastrodon and Porygon 2. Where do you see this going, Nemanja?
I see this going to a big and huge amount of tournaments, and tournaments ending for a really brilliant final match. And anyway, seeing both sides had the Arcanine was Intimidate and the Gastrodon for catching up each other's attack. Maybe the Assault Vest and Garchomp wouldn't be such a thing. Depends on how well it's really trained on special defense, because Tapu Koko's Moonblast should be doing, even with or without the Assault Vest, a huge amount of damage. So, but I hope we are maybe the Celesteela could be a big thing, because Celesteela walling each other teams pretty well. So the Arcanine could be a very interesting factor.
Yeah, and we do know that Nico has entered his team, so has Miguel Martí de la Torre. We are just about to get into this final here in London, the United Kingdom, for the first ever European International Championship. Guys, we are excited. Spain versus Italy here in the final, and we are just about to kick into it. We're going to see the lead any second now. Miguel Martí de la Torre, multiple world contender, and Nico Davide Conieta, one of his highest placements ever. It's going to be an exciting battle, and I hope you guys are ready to see it now. Lead coming out from Nico is going to be Crocodile and Celesteela, and for Miguel, that lead again of Tapu Koko and Garchomp.
Yeah, and having Celesteela against Tapu Koko is a thing you don't want to have. But anyway, it's a decent position for both players, because Miguel always starting with this Discharge Earthquake combination. It could be a thing, because Discharge would be, or Thunderbolt would be a huge damage against Celesteela, but this is the option where the lead metagame begins. His only metagame, this is his own metagame, because turn one is always what am I going to pick and how am I going to stay here, because always having the lead into Crocodile for just bringing up the Intimidate is always great. So, but both people are having the advantage from the Earthquake, so no one wants to switch in his Arcanine into it for another Intimidate. But anyway, we're seeing the Protect by Crocodile here, and against the Thunderbolt into Celesteela.
There we go. We see Miguel pointing to the camera. That does a load of damage there. So the Protect on Crocodile. We're going to see a double target into Celesteela. It goes down on the first turn. Miguel is making the big plays here in the final, and Nico is down to 3 Pokemon on the first turn. A bit of a switch around here, because Nico was being very, very aggressive in his first couple of turns against other players in this tournament, and so to have the tables turn this quickly is a little bit of a problem for him. But Tapu Lele is going to come in now, setting up the Psychic terrain and overriding Electric terrain.
Yeah, it's a very difficult choice, because when you're seeing in the first turn, you never want to be too risky, but having to predict on, because Thunderbolt into Celesteela was so obvious, so just protecting your Crocodile, get some attack with your Celesteela. Trying to break this up from your Tapu Koko is always the thing you would love, but reading by Miguel, just playing by the safe, doing the obvious thing and going to Thunderbolt, and it paid off. It was really good play by Miguel right now.
Yeah, and so we do actually see Garchomp switching out here. What is going to be coming in is Celesteela as well, which does not take that much damage from the Psychic or Fairy type attacks coming out from Tapu Lele. Crocodile is going to return as well, so a lot of switching here, a bit of a revolving door of Pokemon. And we're going to see Arcanine coming in here, which is going to intimidate the Celesteela and also the Tapu Koko as well.
So why are we seeing Celesteela here? Because I'm pretty sure we're going to see this Z move, maybe. Because every first turn Nico on the top cut was in the first turn Tapu Lele was here using the Z move, yeah. So brilliant switch in by Celesteela, because taking that hit by Tapu Lele doesn't mind, because you ran with the Focus Sash, you have not so much bulk, so if you're taking a Z-Crystal move or do you say the Psychic, it's kind of the same thing. But maybe we're seeing into the Celesteela, so a huge predict by Miguel. Again, doing it so, showing himself he's not nervous, always doing the right place.
But that is a lot of damage either way. Celesteela is a very bulky Pokemon. We have seen how much how much damage this Pokemon can soak up, and still having that switch in to almost waste the Z move from Tapu Lele there. A really great move by Miguel.
Yeah, and we saw how important was the Z move by Tapu Lele in Nico's team, because against Tobias he was like always the Z move came in, you get the one KO. Oh, in the last match, the Italian match, where even a Raconet can stay a Z move by Tapu Lele. A Raconet has like, I don't know, 132 special defense. This is huge.
Yeah, so that Z move not doing as much damage as Nico would have wanted. He wanted to remove that Garchomp from the field. And we do see the switch out from Crocodile as well, so saving Intimidate and also the Focus Sash that we've seen previously as well. So he does have that in the back for later. But speaking of going to the back, we have Tapu Koko leaving the field, Gastrodon coming in now, which will not take too much fire type damage from that Arcanine. We are actually going to see the Protect coming out from Arcanine here. What is Tapu Lele going to go for? Is it going to launch an attack? No, the Celesteela going to launch a Protect as well. Tapu Lele, is it going to attack into Celesteela? No, it's going to go into that Tapu Koko slot. We're going to see Gastrodon take some big damage here, boosted by the Psychic Terrain and the special defense drop. That is huge. Moranga Berry is going to activate here, but it's only going to be boosted by one stage.
Yeah, but this drop is so unfortunate for Miguel, because you could stay without this drop. He's now able to get the one KO on Tapu Lele with any attack, so you could even decide go on the Boom Blast if you want, but Psychic's also most likely the better way. Anyway, saving your Tapu Koko for the rest, because having always the Focus Sash on it brings it into an interesting position, but maybe you don't need Tapu Koko anymore since Celesteela already fainted, so still you can have a try. Maybe we're seeing the Celesteela anyway.
But having the Crocodile on the back for Nico means that he could use Dazzling Gleam later on. Tapu Koko is extremely fast, so he does have options, but he actually is going to bring Tapu Koko in now. Maybe we're going to see the overriding of the Psychic Terrain with Electric Terrain, meaning Psychic will not be doing that much damage. It's going to target into the Koko slot, so good. Another special defense drop there from the Psychic. A good target down by the by Tapu Lele. A double target wanting to clear the field of Celesteela there with a flamethrower as well. Tapu Koko goes down, and Miguel Martí del Torre has lost a Pokemon here. We do see the recover though, so Gastrodon is going to put itself back up to a nice number of health here, just below full HP.
Yeah, very destroying turn by Miguel, because thinking about Gastrodon would faint at this turn anyway, so maybe he tries to get up a recover here, get some HP back. But anyway, losing your Tapu Koko when you was to save it is always a big deal. But Celesteela is in a very good position as long as you can handle the Arcanine pretty well.
And what two moves could handle Arcanine better than a Scald and an Earthquake? So Arcanine obviously is a big threat to the Celesteela, which Miguel still has in the back, and has been used as a win condition by a lot of trainers here this weekend. So we're going to have to see how well he can protect that and clear the field of threats.
Yeah, but anyway, Garchomp seeing here, like you said, Scald and Earthquake, both attacks Arcanine don't want to stay in, but he always have his Intimidate option in the back, but also this Intimidate option named Crocodile don't want to stay into in a water type attack. But anyway, Gastrodon, Miguel should keep in mind to have the special defense drop onto Gastrodon, so don't be too risky. But now we see the Crocodile getting into it, bringing out the Intimidate.
So we do see the Intimidate coming out from Crocodile here. It does have that focus sash, so it will need to take 2 attacks to be able to be knocked out. The poison jab is going to go into Tapu Lele. How much does this do? Tapu Lele survives with, and the poison there as well, so Tapu Lele will not be able to stick around for too much longer. The poison will activate and slowly take away its HP. We see the Moonblast onto Assault Vest Garchomp. This does a load of damage as well, leaving it down just below a third of HP. And we see the special attack dropping, which doesn't matter too much, but here comes a Scald. Double target on Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele goes down.
And thankfully the poison didn't matter, because anyway, double target in Tapu Lele. Now the biggest offensive threat is away. Now Miguel can set up his defensive core, just get a way to handle the Arcanine a little bit better, to get the brilliant Celesteela sweep in the back.
So Arcanine does come back in. It is going to lower the attack of Garchomp here, but a really, really clever and very well played out game plan by Miguel here. So really great double target into Tapu Lele, a really powerful special attacking threat on Nico's side of the field. And what do you see this turn going, Emmanuel?
I'm seeing, because there's no special attack that threatens Gastrodon anymore, so there's no reason to switch it out. Also very risky by Miguel to keep it in always. But Garchomp is such a... The Assault Vest is so huge in Garchomp. Now I can see why he's playing it. This Moonblast is quite a 70%. I mean, it's okay, but it's a Moonblast, a stab Moonblast into a Garchomp, and he hangs in like a champ.
This is a very, very bulky Garchomp, and Assault Vest has been an item that Miguel has relied on extremely often in this tournament. We're actually going to see Garchomp leaving the field now. Celesteela is coming in against that Arcanine. We're actually going to see Arcanine protecting, so a nice positioning for Celesteela here. We don't have any super effective Fire-type damage going that way. Earthquake coming out from Crocodile, not going to affect Celesteela because it's a flying type, so Miguel making the read here. We're going to see... the Gastrodon taking a fair amount of damage there. It's still with half HP, and we're going to see the Scald. It's going to go into that Crocodile slot, so not caring about the Protect here. Does it get the burn? No burn.
No burn.
No burn, but the Focus Sash is now damaged, so Crocodile will go down to 1 more hit.
Yeah, that's true. And even if Earthquake does a little bit more damage than I thought so, this isn't a quite good position for Nico, because anyway, when you are attacking with your Arcanine into Celesteela, Celesteela has always a protect option. He has the option to switch back. So into the Garchomp, and this is like, but we don't see the Rock Slide.
Hello, Rock Slide. Fast Rock Slides could pick up flinches, and we all know what that means. We could be seeing some non-moving Pokemon this turn. We see the Flamethrower coming out from Arcanine onto Celesteela. How much will this do? Celesteela hangs around 21 HP. Is that... Oh, there was that flinch. And there's a Gastrodon move. There's the Scald coming out onto the Arcanine here, putting it in range for another Scald later on. Celesteela unfortunately flinching, probably wanted to take out that Crocodile with a heavy slam. Not able to move this turn, but wow, what an exciting turn. This is why Rock Slide from fast Pokemon really, really hurt.
Yeah, I hope we can avoid the fast Pokemon Rock Slide here, but with the new Pokemon, with such bulky Pokemon, even a mid-speed Pokemon like Crocodile can set up the fastest Pokemon be on the field and send it up the Rock Slide. But anyway, now this position for Miguel is kind of difficult a little bit. It depends on how he's handled the Gastrodon, because now Gastrodon is in the position to get the KO on Crocodile and Arcanine. So Celesteela, you don't need it anymore, because he has like 33% as HP. That's not much, but now we're seeing
the Crunch coming out onto Gastrodon. It does not pick up the KO. It gets a defense drop. We have Garchomp in the back, which will be able to get a fast Earthquake off later on. So if Celesteela goes down here, we have Garchomp coming in as the fastest Pokemon.
Yeah, but now we're seeing it didn't. Maybe he thought about picking up the KO. Yeah, seeing the Scald into Arcanine, picks up the KO. Yeah,
and Arcanine goes down.
It goes down. Yeah, and now we're seeing just one Crocodile brand Nico side against the Gastrodon and the Garchomp in the back. So, but anyway, when we're seeing at this, he maybe could double up into Gastrodon, because Celesteela should pick up the Heavy Slam, so it's Miguel would be do everything right with the Heavy Slam and Crocodile. It would be anyway in his favor, but interesting to see, maybe because Fire...
There we go, that's the forfeit right there. 2v1, Garchomp being the faster Pokemon out of the 2 ground types, put a lot of pressure onto Nico's team there, and Miguel takes the first game here in the grand finals of the first ever European International Championships.
What a ping pong game all the time, because in the first time we saw, okay, it was maybe a little bit more on Miguel's side, but all the way out, always so great predict by Nico, always going to be into the risky mode. And I'm very curious if you're going to see a little bit more of safe play now, because he's in the back. You have to play safe, a little bit safe now, but why should he? Because it went kind of well in the first match, so maybe you're seeing always, again, such cool plays.
And Nico has been playing extremely well this tournament. I believe he has shown that he's got a great determination and he's going to want to adjust here. So if you're Nico, how do you adjust to this great play by Miguel Martí de la Torre?
I think I don't even have to be Nico because he already picked his lead. So this man is ready for the final. He wants the win back. He wants the 1-1, at least the 1-2 for his side. So if I would be Nico, this would be a kind of difficult position because you like to have, you want your Arcanine against the Celesteela. You know Gigalith will stay at home because you have like Gastrodon, you have like Crocodile, you have your own Celesteela, so the chance that he would pick Gigalith is small, but your most powerful dealing Pokemon, Tapu Lele, this is the thing, how are you going to be to deal with it? Because we saw the one-time great switch into Celesteela, into the Psychic Z move, but is he Miguel able to get the second time? It's such a good predict.
Lots of questions, time for answers. We are moving into game 2 here in the final of the European International Championships. Miguel Martí de la Torre, again, Garchomp and Tapu Koko, Crocodile and Celesteela from Nico Davide Cuneta. He needs to win this game to take us to game 3, otherwise our new European International Champion is Miguel.
Alright, so seeing the same lead like in the first game, and we said doing a very risky play by Nico, not protecting the Celesteela, protecting the Crocodile, and trying to get an attack off, but with the read by Miguel, getting the Thunderbolt into Celesteela and the double KO thanks to Garchomp into it. So we're in the same position now, so I'm not sure if Nico wants to try it again, but it would be a very risky play if you try to do the same trick again.
Oh, but it'd be so exciting if we see this. Again, this is a very mind game heavy first lead here. The Crocodile did protect last time, so we'll have to see if the same chain of events will come out here. So Miguel's still taking time to choose his moves. We are going to see, what are we going to see here? We're going to see the Crocodile return from the field. It's going to keep that Intimidate and Focus Sash for later on. Tapu Lele making an appearance now, so any sort of electric type attack will be weakened just because electric terrain isn't around anymore. Psychic terrain will boost psychic attacks here. We're going to see the Dazzling Gleam coming out instead, so a bit of a change up here already. We have the Garchomp also going for the Fire Fang into Celesteela, so not as much damage dealt on the first turn, and now we see the Leech Seed coming out. Celesteela finally able to get up a bit of recovery and able to do something in this final.
And especially the most thing, there's no Focus Sash anymore on Tapu Koko, so this is a really free thing for Nico right now. Having no Sash, having a normal Tapu Koko, having the chance to get into one-hit KO on it, and this is something you always want. So now having always in the second turn your Tapu Lele on the field, the chance to get a Z-Crystal move, and I'm not really sure if, even if Garchomp stay a Moonblast that well, I'm not sure if he won't stay an Z-Crystal move by Tapu Lele.
Well, especially with the Psychic Terrain boost and how offensive this Tapu Lele seems to be. Nico has revealed the Z Crystal in the previous match and does love to launch it the first time Tapu Lele appears on the field, but we're not going to see it this time. We're actually going to see the Protect, safer plays coming out from Nico here. We're going to see the Thunderbolt going into that slot. Protect prevents it there. We're going to see another attack going to that slot as well. Really great play here. Leech Seed coming out onto the Garchomp now, so little bit of draining health each turn, wearing away. Celesteela loves to do this.
It's a brilliant play because, like I said before, Nico is now known for when he's pulling up his Tapu Lele on the field. It's always the first turn Psychic Z move into one of the Pokemon. It's most likely one-hit KO. So Miguel knew about it and was speculating, okay, he's about to attack, so I will double up into the Tapu Lele set just because he's faster, not giving any chance to get the one KO because he's probably the strongest Z move out there thanks to his ability, the Psychic Terrain. Anyways, now Nico changes his ability. He just protected with Tapu Lele, getting another Leech Seed off, so Miguel is now forced to stay in or forced to stay out. Anyway, Celesteela will be definitely free to not getting KO'd this turn.
And we see Tapu Lele switching out here, so again, Nico changing up his strategies from previous games. We see another Intimidate coming out from the Crocodile who returns to the field here. Doesn't take any damage from the electric type attacks from Tapu Koko because it is a ground type. Dazzling Gleam though, so it's going to take some big damage here. And Focus Sash is now broken. We're going to see the Poison Jab going into the Crocodile as well. Not going to pick up the knockout here. Does it get the poison? It does!
Yes!
So many poison turns coming out, and here we see the heavy slam here coming up from Celesteela. Going to go into that Tapu Koko. It's going to knock it out. That's a critical hit. Wow.
What a huge turn. We saw the poison, and anyway, so huge because thanks to the it's so good because thanks to the double intimidate onto Garchomp, even with the poison, Crocodile is able to get one turn longer on the field. So maybe the poison doesn't mind so much because Garchomp can't protect anyway. But having a heavy slam onto Tapu Koko and getting the one-hit KO, it's so huge.
Look at that little sliver of health there.
It's enough. It's still enough to hang in for this turn.
Oh, so poison is something that we've seen a lot to deal with the fairy types that are running rampant in VGC 17. And so we've had Toxic, we've had Poison Jab, and it just feels like most Poison Jabs are inflicting that poison status.
It really feels like 50%. It feels like Scald, because Scald has 30% of poison, but we all know it's more than 30. It's more than 50% of.
So we've got Garchomp Celesteela against Crocodile Celesteela. Nemanja, how does this turn end up? Do we see Crocodile leaving? Oh, we do. Oh, we do. Oh.
Well, yeah, why not? Because you want your Intimidate, and you will get your Intimidate. Now we're seeing the Gastrodon in, having a kind of safe play now, just hang in. We're seeing the Earthquake just hitting the Gastrodon, but I'm pretty sure Gastrodon will hang in pretty well, and knowing Celesteela wouldn't do anything big against Gastrodon. But seeing Celesteela by Nico Davide is faster, so he can bring out a sub, but both Celesteela bring up his own sub. So, okay, but we know the Celesteela, but Davide is having up a leech seed onto a Garchomp, so he's in a little bit more better position.
So the substitute party has started. Celesteela both sitting behind their respective substitutes, and as you mentioned, Nemanja, we do see the leech seed damage coming off of Garchomp there and healing Celesteela back for Davide there. So Gastrodon taking that Earthquake really well. Gastrodon pressures Garchomp a bit as well, and Garchomp wants to get rid of that leech seed damage now as well and stop additional healing for the Celesteela on Davide's side of the field.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, Garchomp can stay, as long as it just gets some leech seed damage, it could stay longer in. But now we've seen the switch out into his own Gastrodon just to save the Celesteela. And this could be very interesting now, because we have to exactly mirror. But we're seeing the Ice Beam. We're seeing the Ice Beam right into the Celesteela, but not enough to breaking this up.
So nice play by Nico there. Obviously, Ice Beam is super effective against Garchomp, but if he chose to use the Scald and try and pick up a burn and try and hamper its physical attack as well, he would have had issues with the Storm Drain. And we see the side Leech Seed as well here. So that's a move that we saw Yuri from Italy using on stream yesterday. And so this allows Celesteela to continue to get multiple sources of healing back. Really well played, an interesting way to handle the Celesteela mirror.
It is, because when you leech seed your own Pokemon, you will. It's so weird when you will look in a stream. You switch in the stream and seeing someone is seeding his own Pokemon, but you protect your own Pokemon, your Gastrodon, from being leech seed by the other Celesteela. So it's a very good choice, but this is very important when you have the fastest Celesteela on the field. So when you're doing stuff like leech seeding your own Pokemon or the opposite Pokemon, you have to be the fastest Celesteela. But now, just a safe turn, seeing the protect by Celesteela for Miguel. It's just a safe turn, yeah.
As Davide has shown his Celesteela is faster, we are going to see it launch Leech Seed onto that Gastrodon here. So both Gastrodon seeded by one Celesteela, which is not something I thought I'd be saying in this final. We see the Recover coming up now, and this is the great thing about these bulky water types. We saw Milotic from Yuri yesterday using Recover and getting the side stream as well. But we see the Toxic coming out here. Toxic landing onto Davide's Gastrodon. So that will be draining his health a little bit, as well as his own Leech Seed now. So both Celesteela setting up, starting to get the recovery back in, but the Toxic on the Gastrodon from Davide is a bit of an issue.
It's a big issue because, yeah, having 2 times chip damage from the Toxic and the Leech Seed into a Gastrodon spot is too much. Because Miguel can now sit and wait, because Davide is the person who have to do the first turn. He had to switch out Gastrodon as long as it's not too late. So maybe Miguel tries to predict the switch in now or in the next turn, so he can spread out his water moves. Storm Gastrodon would normally catch off. So Miguel played himself again in a pretty good position right now.
Yeah, we do have that double lock going on now as well. So Celesteela launching heavy slams into each other may not break each other's sub. Gastrodon actually resists the heavy slam from Celesteela. Both Gastrodon cannot use their water type attacks for fear of boosting the other type special attacks as well. Here goes a heavy slam into the Gastrodon on Miguel's side, onto Miguel's side of the field. Doesn't do too much damage there. Celesteela uses substitute again, so not being able to, no sub was being broken that turn anyway. The Ice Beam is launched into it now, and the substitute not taking any damage here. Another Ice Beam onto the opposing Celesteela now as well. Substitute hanging around. No, it's broken there. There we go. Substitute is now broken here. We're going to see the leftovers picking up for Celesteela and a lot more Leech Seed coming up.
So why is it important you can that Celesteela by Miguel isn't having a sub anymore, because now Celesteela by Davide is able to get the Leech Seed out of the Celesteela by Miguel because he's the faster Celesteela. So before the tournament I wouldn't be sure if the speed of Celesteela wouldn't be a thing, but now it definitely is, because I've been kind of curious for a few days or weeks how fast you have to play your Celesteela to be the fastest Celesteela on the field.
Are we going to start seeing max investment speed Celesteelas?
Yeah. Or maybe like JB Boyd playing his Jolly Marowak.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see the speed creep come out from most of these Pokemon. We see the protection coming out from Celesteela there. A Leech Seed missing the, going into the protect there. We see a recover coming out from Miguel's Gastrodon. And that's going to put it back to just about full health. There we go. And we're going to see the Ice Beam coming out from Gastrodon on his side of the field. Going to go into that Gastrodon. They're going to activate the Moringa Berry, giving it a special defense boost. And are we going to see anything? Yeah, no, we're just going to see the leftovers coming out from Celesteela. And again, slow turns, slow grinding turns, but all the time we're going to see Gastrodon on Davide's side of the field taking poison damage and that Leech Seed as well.
Yeah, so Davide has definitely to take the first turn, because it's just a matter of time when Gastrodon have to go out, because he's heavily poisoned by the toxin. He's always getting more and more damage. So, like we see, look at this damage. This is just the second round or the third round. I'm not really sure. Anyway, it's more and more for each round. So the only thing Miguel has to do is just sit and wait. Wait till he drops out and switches out Gastrodon, and then keep up attacking with Scald. And the lovely thing about Scald is, like we said before, the burn chance.
Yeah, we need to make sure that we get rid of this Gastrodon here, so that we do see a switch out on the Gastrodon here to reset the poison damage. We've seen that a lot over this weekend due to the high usage of Toxic. Speaking of poison, we do have Crocodile coming back in. It has roughly 1 HP, so the poison damage at the end of this turn will knock it out here. We're going to see a Leech Seed once again from Celesteela onto the opposing Celesteela, so Miguel's Celesteela will be worn down by Leech Seed now. Substitute once again coming out from Miguel's Celesteela, so Substitute Party in full effect once more. Ice Beam from the Gastrodon on Miguel's side of the field onto the Celesteela sub. Will this take it out now? No, it does not. We see the leftovers on Celesteela. Lots of healing, and Crocodile will go down.
Yeah, now it is the first turn where the poison really matters, because in this case we had the Crocodile on the field. Crocodile could do a relevant amount of damage on the Gastrodon. So unfortunately the poison happens like 20 turns before, in my feeling. So no more Crocodile here, and maybe Davide uses the chance to get. I don't think he wants his own Gastrodon back. So maybe we're seeing back the comeback of Tapu Lele here.
Well, we'll have to see what Nico decided to... we have to see if Nico decides to bring in Tapu Lele just to get some big damage onto that Gastrodon. But no, he wants to keep the Storm Drain lock going on. And Celesteela both sitting behind Substitute. We said before that Kartana was the most used Ultra Beast going into this top 8, but it is Celesteela's day now. We do have the Substitute Party in full effect. Both Gastrodon on the field protecting the Celesteela from taking Water-type damage from Scald. And we could be in for the long haul here.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, Davide has still this powerhouse Tapu Lele in the back with the Psychic Z move. So maybe he's already game plan, or maybe he's just waiting for the right turn. He could use his Tapu Lele to get the one-hit KO onto a specific type of Pokemon. So Celesteela going out for a guard jump is quite a good move, because Celesteela can't do anything right now. And watching out Ice Beam. He was probably predicting a recover aspect of a protect, so maybe Miguel predicted also protect, but no, most likely Davide should play the recover just to get the HP back. But now, no recover being most likely the slowest Pokemon on the field, having the guard shop, in fact, this could be huge.
Yeah, so Garchomp coming in here with the Fire Fang that we have seen, and it is Assault Vest as well, so it may be able to survive an Ice Beam from this Gastrodon. We need to see how it's trained, but being able to do some big damage to the Celesteela with Fire Fang if it chooses to lock in here. And we do know that the Gastrodon on Miguel's side of the field is moving first, but we see the Protect coming out from the Gastrodon on Davide's side of the field, and Garchomp is the big offense here, but we're actually going to see a switch out now. So Celesteela coming back in, it's lost its substitute, it lost its additional healing. Are we just going to see the Ice Beam going into that slot? We're going to see the opposing Celesteela set up once more the substitute now. So Gastrodon is going to be using the Ice Beam onto the Celesteela of Miguel here. Gastrodon on his side of the field going to set up the recover, as you said, Nemanja. So a bit of a non-turn, but some great HP back for the Gastrodon for Miguel.
It's an interesting turn now by Davide because he's still not recovering his Gastrodon, so maybe he wants to get his Gastrodon fail to get 100% sure switch in from his Tapu Lele and not even attacking into the Garchomp. Maybe, like I said, no, he don't want to recover, he just wants to rip out his own Gastrodon because Gastrodon can't do anything, just catch up all water type attacks, so he maybe needs just the power of the Tapu Lele here to get the KO on the Gastrodon from Miguel's side and even at this. But we are in the second game now and still we have like 20 minutes left, so people should be hurry up if you're going to be in the third game.
Yeah, so we do see the yaw time for Miguel is at 5 minutes and 34 seconds, 20 minutes left on the round timer. A switch out from Gastrodon here, Tapu Lele making its appearance once again, and the Psychic Terrain is going to come out here, so we're going to see the Leech Seed being avoided by the Celesteela, another Leech Seed going on to that Gastrodon slot. Tapu Lele is going to take the Leech Seed here, and what is Gastrodon going to do on Miguel's side of the field? We see the Ice Beam going into that slot. Is it going to pick up a freeze here? No, it does not. We see the leftovers activating for Celesteela, and now we could be seeing a Z move.
Yeah, we could, but anything. This is the kind of damage or chip damage Davide didn't want on his Tapu Lele, because Tapu Lele is the only Pokemon who can deal with kind of with Celesteela, because I know it's not that strong, but you can get some damage off, but not really on Celesteela is important, but on Gastrodon, and somehow also on Garchomp. So now it's even in the range for Garchomp if he's going to come somehow in the battle without taking damage. So really good position now for Miguel, because having his Gastrodon out with a lot of HP, Celesteela untouchable for everything.
Yep.
Oh man.
Also, have you checked out Miguel's trainer? Those are some fantastic sunglasses right there.
Fantastic sound, very fancy, yeah?
Yeah, and I love the Alolan's Digital t-shirt coming out from Davide's trainer as well, looking fresh, everybody. So Gastrodon and Celesteela on the field for Miguel, and Tapu Lele, again, does not want to be having that much damage on it. It is a big, powerful special attacker. We're going to see a Protect coming out from Miguel's Celesteela now, and we're going to see this, the Z move coming out from Davide. Which slot has this gone into? That's the real question now. So once again, the Shattered Psyche activating. It's going to infuse itself with its Z power. We're going to have to see how much damage this is going to do and which target it's going to go into.
Yeah, maybe we're seeing the last Z move, Z move we can see here on the live stream. Anyway, we're seeing it in the Gastrodon, and this could be, I just love the animation, I just want to mention it. Anyway, we're seeing this, and it should be...
That is a knockout!
Yeah, sure it's a knockout. Sure. And now we're seeing the crowd is kind of getting, because everyone expected it, but anyway, it's just like I said, it's the strongest Z move we got around.
Yeah, so finally, we do have the ability for Davide's Gastrodon to be able to use its water type attacks now, but with the poison, it's going to be a little bit of a problem for it to stick around for too long without using Recover a lot. But Tapu Lele doing its work, coming in and getting rid of what was effectively a lockdown on Miguel's side of the field.
Yeah, and now, like we said, Tapu Lele took a little bit too much damage by the Ice Beam, by the Leech Seed. Now it's definitely in the KO range by the Poison Jab from the Garchomp. And even if he's going to bring up his own Gastrodon back, it's pretty difficult, because when you bring up your Gastrodon, you couldn't always get KO'd by the next round. But you're seeing the Fire Fang into Celesteela, no Protect by Tapu Lele. This could be a very huge thing now. Even if breaking this up by a Fire Fang, sure thing. Anyway, now we're pretty curious. Are we going to see the Moonblast into the Garchomp?
Here we go. Garchomp's health is going down. We see the knockout there. Garchomp has gone down. Celesteela for Miguel Martí de la Torre, the only Pokemon remaining. And there goes substitute on Davide's hair. We see the handshake coming out now, so it looks like we are going to be going to game 3.
Game 3, yeah. Even if the Assault Vest is such a great item on Garchomp, I'm pretty sure Miguel wants to wish his Protect for this round back, because Protect would be a safe play, but there's no safe play when there's no Protect, so he had the choice. Is he attacking Tapu Lele and taking then the heavy slam damage or otherwise? So no matter, he was not protecting, he was hoping for protecting Tapu Lele, so attacking the Celesteela, it wasn't happening. Davide was smart enough to get both attack off into the Garchomp, and yeah, 3-1 for Davide here on the positioning.
But we know that Celesteela is a very strong Pokemon. We could see a couple more turns yet before we are able to break this fantastic wall of a beast. And we're going to see Gastrodon now coming in. It's obviously poison, so we're able to do damage. We see the substitute once again from Celesteela. So once again jumping in behind. Was that another failed Leech Seed there?
There were all... We got a lot of Leech Seed missed today, especially on this match. So really unfortunately for Davide here again, for missing another Leech Seed. But anyway, now getting the Gastrodon off, having the chance for recover, but there's always a chance to get a heavy slam and a crit on the Gastrodon. So let's hope for Davide to not get crit, to get the recover off onto the Gastrodon. So this could also be a turn where Miguel could stop it, could finish it.
Yeah, so we see Miguel now. He has the opportunity to try and waste out this Gastrodon with the poison damage. Obviously, it will increase over time. It is heavily poisoned. Tapu Lele will not appreciate taking a heavy slam once it comes in from the other side of the field. And we see the heavy slam coming out from Davide's Celesteela going into that substitute. It's not going to break. No, it's not going to break at all. We're going to see the Leech Seed coming out. It's going to go into that Gastrodon slot, speeding up the process of it leaving the field now as well. Are we going to see the School coming out onto the onto the substitute? This should break it. So Celesteela will be free to take attacks next turn. And here it goes, Celesteela is back. It's a gigantic Pokemon, isn't it, Emmanuel?
It is, yeah. And maybe now Davide had another chance to get the Leech out into the Celesteela. Anyway, it's very difficult for Davide now. It's already in his favor, so but still deciding again not to recover with the Gastrodon, getting his attack off, breaking this up, always great play, but this shouldn't be enough to get the KO on the Gastrodon. No, it hangs in with a little bit of HP to hang on with the poison. You don't care about the poison all the time, not, so pretty solid place here by Davide.
Just one more turn, Gastrodon, please, just one more turn, and we finally get it. So Davide still has 3 Pokemon. Tapu Lele is in the back. We need to see if we're going to get a Leech Seed onto this Celesteela on Miguel's side of the field. The substitute and the Leech Seed is the combo that Davide is looking for. We see the Protect coming out from Celesteela now, and Gastrodon needs to recover this turn. We're going to see the Leech Seed coming out. Oh, what we're going to see from Gastrodon, we see the Scald, so Gastrodon will go down this turn due to obviously the Leech Seed and also the poison damage. We got the recovery from Celesteela here. We're going to see the Leech Seed activating. That will remove Gastrodon from the field.
Yeah, we should just mention, on the last timer we had from 16 and before, this match would be like over since, I don't know, like 5 turns, and Davide would take the win. But with the new system, Miguel knows how to play with the new timer rule, with the kind of chess timer, and still always just what's the tactic when you play? What is the plan when you play against Celesteela? Just kick off everything next to it.
Yeah, so speaking of timer, we are down to 13 minutes for the round timer here. So Tapu Lele coming in, it will be the fastest thing on the field. Will it be able to use a Thunderbolt? No, we just see it going for the Protect here to stop any sort of heavy slam antics that we can see from Celesteela. The opposing Celesteela is now going to get that Leech Seed up. So it is behind the substitute. It will get that residual healing back. We see the substitute coming out from Miguel's side of the field. So Tapu Lele has the option to be able to use our Thunderbolt into that slot to break it. And we got Celesteela with substitute and Leech Seed and leftovers now.
Yeah, we got it, but anyway, finally, like we said, finally gets the Leech Seed on into the Celesteela by Miguel. Anyway, good predict by getting into sub, knowing that Davide is going with Tapu Lele into the Protect. It's just a predict you can do. It's not a risky play, but it's also a kind of good play. So this is also a thing Miguel can, even if he's in such a difficult position, he can do it. And now we see the Thunderbolt into the Celesteela would be easy to get to knock KO off the substitute, but you don't need the Yeah, we should probably see the heavy slam right now.
Oh, there we go. The heavy slam is coming out from the Celesteela there. The substitute going up in a puff of smoke from that Thunderbolt. Not doing too much with damage with the heavy slam at all there. The resistance is coming in. Very great favor for Celesteela on Miguel's side of the field. Tapu Lele has now left the field with a knockout from the heavy slam. So we are down to Celesteela versus Celesteela. We've got a beast boost, which is going to be this special defense now. With one Celesteela behind a substitute and Leech Seed, Davide's Celesteela is looking like it's in a better position.
It is, yeah. But talking about the whole last 20 turns by Davide, keeping all... We talked about it before that, because Tapu Lele is a really big thing in this matchup, and saving it in the back, not wasting your Z Crystal in the first turns like you did.
Oh, that's a forfeit right there. So actually we just see the forfeit coming out there. So Davide has picked up the win here. He needed to make that happen. He needed to make sure that he took us to a Game 3 here at the finals of the European International Championships. And again, Celesteela proving how incredible it is with its massive bulk, access to Leech Seed and access to substitute.
Yeah, and first of all, thank you, Miguel. Just thank you, because we know you had still enough time on your talk, but thank you for just saving us a little bit of time, because we know Celesteela versus Celesteela is not a fan favorite thing they want to watch. Anyway, it's such a brilliant play how both players always get. Miguel always had kind of the upper hand, but Davide always turn by turn getting his same in better position. And in the end, it was like, okay, wait, Davide is going to win.
Yeah, that's it. It just, as you said, the first game was very ping-pong style. Everyone was returning backwards and forwards to me to you. But this game was a bit more of a grind. They chose a different style here. But we are actually going to go back into Game 3. Miguel Marti de la Torre at 1 win. Nico Davide Coneta at 1 win. The teams, once again, Arcanine, Celesteela, Garchomp, Gigalith, Tapu Koko, and Gastrodon. And then Celesteela, Tapu Lele, Arcanine, Crocodile, Gastrodon, and Porygon 2.
So, we saw it in the first game, in the second game, the exactly same leads, but we saw in the second game Davide was very fast with picking. Now he takes a little bit more time, seeing already locked in by Miguel, so if he's... I would, why not? Because Tapu Koko was kind of a thing in the first match, and the second match, by great play by Davide, the sash was away, and without the sash, isn't even a big thing. So, but guys, we're heading into a match.
Here we go.
Here we
the
go.
last game, the finals of the European International Championship here in London. Give it up once again. Miguel Marti de la Torre, Nico Davide Coneta. Both of these players are playing to become the first ever European champion.
And now we're seeing a tactic change by here. We're seeing Gastrodon and Tapu Lele, but Miguel stays with his own lead combo. Tapu Koko, Garchomp again onto the field. Anyway, seeing it, Gastrodon likes to stay in Tapu Koko, like we mentioned a few times before. So maybe Gastrodon could be a thing in this thing. But Tapu Koko and Garchomp, the fastest Pokemon on the field, being able to get the KO on Tapu Lele. So maybe we're seeing again, because Thunderbolt and Poison Jab into Tapu Lele is obvious.
Yep.
We saw in the first game obvious things happen. So Davide think, okay, it's so obvious, I'm still going for it. And Miguel's like, okay, I just do the normal play, doing the Thunderbolt into it, and getting rid of one Pokemon in the first game. So
First turn mind games are obviously a really big part of Pokemon, but it means so much more in the finals like this, and we're really excited to get underway here, guys. Tapu Koko obviously being able to put out some big damage with Thunderbolts, but we see the Protect coming out from Tapu Lele here, wanting to make sure it stays around on the field, and we're going to see the Dazzling Gleam coming out from Tapu Koko onto only the Gastrodon here. Doesn't take too much damage, surviving with only take under a quarter of damage there. Sorry, guys. We're going to see the Scald coming out onto the Garchomp. Will there be a burn? No burn there, so nice little bit of damage for the Gastrodon to do to the Garchomp. Put it in range maybe of a Moonblast if it's a high damage roll, but Tapu Lele taking no damage there, and that's a good thing.
That is a good thing, yeah. Always keep your focus sash. This is the point Tapu Koko wants to have. But Scald was a fair amount of try, because you want to have to burn. A Garchomp without Protect with the burn is the thing you want to handle with. But come on, it could be no chance to get the KO by an Ice Beam, but Moonblast is the only attack who can get the KO on Garchomp, but not even for sure. I mean, it's like 45% HP just do by a Scald. But Tapu Lele can stay on the field, he has to go out, because Dazzling Gleam, Poison Jab are doing too much damage, but we're seeing the switch up by Guard Jump into the Gastrodon here.
So Gastrodon is hitting the field for that Guard Jump. Are we going to see, Tapu Lele is leading the field, great call in the Mania. We're going to see Crocodile coming in here instead, hoping to get the Intimidate off onto that Guard Jump. So instead it's actually going to be facing down against another Sea Slug. So Gastrodon on the field for both players now. The Thunderbolt going into both one of the ground types and not able to hit. Ice Beam going into the opposing Gastrodon now. Groudon, that's a blast from the past. And we see the Moranga Berry coming up for Gastrodon on Miguel's side of the field. And yeah, I mean, with Celesteela around, Groudon.
So
nice.
what happened in this turn? We saw just Tapu Lele couldn't be on the field because it was too obvious that Tapu Lele was so important in the second match. So Davide couldn't take the risk to stay in and set up an attack. So the predict by Miguel was, okay, I was like Dazzling Gleam and Poison Jab, so I think he would put in Celesteela, predicting that and go for Thunderbolt. And this whole process Davide was predicting. So this is high level stuff we got here, guys.
So we could be seeing an Ice Beam coming out from either Gastrodon here. Do you expect Tapu Koko to leave the field and try and keep its Focus Sash intact and bring in a Celesteela now?
It should be, because when you want to have your Focus Sash in, but we see the Gastrodon switch in, that means Tapu Koko stays in because it's the fast Pokemon on the field. But seeing the Protect is kind of the same. Always want to have your Focus Sash. You could do the Dazzling Gleam, but the little bit of damage you can do on Crocodile, or not even the KO on Crocodile, isn't worth to lose your Focus Sash.
So a nice turn there for Davide, some good positioning. Celesteela coming in. It is a flying type Pokemon, regardless of the fact of how heavy it looks, and is actually. So it will not take any damage from the Earthquake. Gastrodon there having to use Ice Beam only because the Gastrodon being on the field turn previously mean it couldn't use water type attacks because of Storm Drain, and Tapu Koko protecting and keeping his Focus Sash around for longer.
Yeah, and you just want Tapu Koko to deal well with Celesteela, because in the second match Celesteela was a very important Pokemon. I would say the MVP. So you want Tapu Koko, you want the Thunderbolt into the Celesteela, because this is the only huge damage you can do with it.
And we do see the Thunderbolt going onto the Celesteela. They're taking it down to below half HP, and the Paralysis. That's a big deal.
That's a very big deal, because now you are the slower Celesteela, even the slowest Pokemon on the field. You can take any damage, being the Earthquake, taking Tapu Koko to his Focus Sash and doing a good amount of damage in the Gastrodon. But anyway, this Paralyze could be so huge.
There it is!
It is! It is Paralyzed by Celesteela, oh my gosh!
And we see the Scald coming out onto Crocodile. We can see a burn here as well. Oh my god, there we are!
Seeing the burn and the Paralyze in one turn. I don't know if
heartbreak for
it's
Davide.
Really heartbreak. I don't know if Davide can recover us from this all in one turn.
That is heartbreaking for Davide there. Miguel really getting quite lucky with his status conditions there, but making the right moves.
Yeah, absolutely. Every move is just right. You also could just have to try if you was looking for the Paralyze, you could just want to discharge, because you have your Gastrodon on the field. He's got a Crocodile, so you will hit the Celesteela anyway. But 10% or 30% in one turn, guys. I'm not a math specialist, but I know it's pretty rare to happen that.
Yeah, and that is a big turn in favor of Miguel here. So Davide has his back to the wall now. He really has to play really carefully and really confidently to be able to win this game. We see the Arcanine coming in now, which is just going to be a bit more punishment for that Crocodile. The Burn obviously lowering its attack stat, and Intimidate lowering it as well, and also getting the Intimidate onto the Celesteela. We see the Protect coming out from Celesteela, passing through the Paralysis here. Crocodile going to use Earthquake once more, so Arcanine going to take some super effective damage here, but after the Burn and the Intimidate, how much will this do?
It should be not that much, because taking Intimidate's always a spread move into a VGC lowers, but even the burn matters too much, because when you have a -1 burned Crocodile on the field, you can even switch in everything you want. It most likely don't get the KO. Even Tapu Koko would stay easily Earthquake right now. So bringing up, but interesting, when you're seeing, we see now every 4 Pokemon with Miguel. It's Tapu Koko, Garchomp, Gastrodon and Arcanine. There's no Celesteela. So Miguel, knowing the Celesteela wasn't a match winning condition for him, because having the slow Celesteela always means you are in a disadvantage. So bringing up two Pokemon who can deal with Celesteela pretty well. But
he really allowed that turn with the status conditions to get him into good position. Obviously, that wasn't something that he planned for. It was something that really happened for him. But the next turn was really great, bringing in the Intimidate in and also forcing the Celesteela now to switch out to not take any super effective Fire-type damage. And also the recover from Gastrodon is huge. He allows that Gastrodon to stick around for even more. We see the Flare Blitz now coming out from the Arcanine into the Celesteela slot. Gastrodon is going to be able to take that really well there, not getting a burn either. We're going to see the recall damage onto the Arcanine. We're going to see the Earthquake once again from this now heavily weakened Crocodile. So super effective on Arcanine, activating the Citrus Berry on his own Gastrodon here. So going to heal up back to just under a third from a wave there. And we have just been told we are under 2 minutes left for this round timer now. Toxic coming out from Gastrodon onto the opposing Gastrodon. And with the number of Pokemon left in his party, Miguel is looking like he is pushing his way towards becoming our first European champion.
It could, but yeah, but like we said, we had only 2 minutes on the timer left. So when he's saving up his Crocodile in the back, we still have a 4-4. So it could be a thing anyway. When he's going to manage it somehow to get on time, if he's going to see this as one win condition, because it definitely is one. Because Arcanine is the first Pokemon on the field, it could be easily take the KO on Crocodile, so Davide has to protect the Crocodile, not to protect, to switch it out and never bring it back.
Yep, so we need to see this Crocodile leaving the field now. We are going to see it, there it goes. Nemanja, you're very, very much correct there. We're going to see Celesteela coming back in, a very extremely bulky Pokemon, and it's around half HP, it's also paralyzed. We are under a minute left, guys, in the final of the European International Championship. Tapu Lele hitting the field now as well. Going to set up the Psychic Terrain. Its Psychic type attacks will be boosted for the next turn. And once again, when we reach the full extent of the timer, Snarl coming out from Arcanine here, when we reach full extent of timer, there will be 3 additional turns in which these players can make their moves.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm both player. By the way, guys, we'll track 20 seconds on the round timer.
20 seconds.
So 20 seconds, 18, 17. Anyway, it's pretty. It was a pretty cool percent. But anyway, before I want to tell, it's like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Guys, okay, so we have now reached timer. Timer is completely off. We have 3 turns in which these players can continue to make their moves. The judge will be able to inform us of any rulings that are made at that point, and we will be able to decide who will be the champion.
What is the final? But anyway, by the play Miguel and Davide was playing, this was switching on Celesteela by knowing he could just bring up his Flare Blitz into the Crocodile spot, but he was thinking, okay, doing the safe play, dealing some damage on Tapu Lele, was switching in, doing the Snarl, but now we see the Flare Blitz into the Tapu Lele. It shouldn't be enough.
So we see the big Flare Blitz coming out. We've been told by the judge this is turn 0. We see the Z move coming out from Tapu Lele. Now is the time to get some big damage off. We're going to see the Z power activating once more. Tapu Lele closing its eyes in concentration, getting ready to launch a massive Shattered Psyche attack into Miguel Martí de la Torre. This is Nico Davide's time to try and make his play to be the new European International Champion. Bouncing around, smashing through. Arcanine is down, so Miguel Martí de la Torre losing a Pokemon here. This is huge.
This is huge, but now setting up the sub with Celesteela is also a very huge play. Man, and still being faster, but now he's down.
Tapu Lele's down!
We see it!
Both trainers now down to 3 Pokemon. We are still matched in number of Pokemon here.
We're still in the tie, but even very interesting thing how fast Celesteela by Davide is, because even with the Paralyze being faster than the Gastrodon by Miguel. I know Gastrodon is a very, very slow Pokemon. Anyway, by the buff by Paralyze, by being, I guess, 30% now, by being 50% slower. Anyway, I'm still surprised how fast Celesteela can be. But anyway, now both players have to deal with this turn. Well, being timeouts now, time isn't a really relevant thing. It's just about turns here right now.
So we see Gastrodon coming in for Davide. It is poisoned, and Garchomp coming in, which cannot protect. Garchomp has to deal some big damage to the Gastrodon, otherwise it's going to eat an Ice Beam.
It is, yeah, but this could be a double up from... This is now turn 1, guys, by the way, just to mention. Before that was turn 0, this is now turn 1. This is now... Davide could double up into Garchomp because Ice Beam shouldn't be enough to get the KO on Garchomp. So Heavy Slam and Ice Beam would be pretty sure the KO. Otherwise, I don't think that Earthquake should be enough to get the KO on Gastrodon. I think David's Gastrodon is faster than the Gastrodon by Miguel. Am I right?
I actually have the notes here. Yeah, it should. Miguel's Gastrodon is faster.
Miguel's Gastrodon is faster?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe so. Anyway, we will see this turn. So we see the Earthquake coming out. It's not going to affect the Celesteela. We're going to see some big damage onto the Gastrodon on the opposing side of the field. Not known for its defensive bulk. It's known for a special defensive bulk. We're going to see the lead seed. It misses. We see the Ice Beam coming out from Miguel's Gastrodon onto the Gastrodon. It knocks out.
Even without the... Oh my gosh, this is it. This is most likely it, because I wouldn't think Ice Beam would do so much damage. I would say, okay, Ice Beam, it would stay easy, and I was prepared for the Ice Beam on Garchomp, but having a faster Gastrodon on the field is the big thing. This is the... oh my... well.
Wow. So guys, this is going to be turn 2 here in the final of the European International Championship. We have gone through the round timer. This is the penultimate turn before we have to take tiebreakers to decide the game. But with Davide down to 2 Pokemon, Miguel down to 3 Pokemon, he just needs to be able to protect his Pokemon lead to become the first ever European champion.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure if Leech Seed was the right protect, even if Gastrodon would stay it in. But anyway, I don't want to complain any of Davide's game anymore, because taking the Poison Jab into a Garchomp to get the 100% KO on it, seeing now the Leech Seed from Celesteela's side, but anyway, this isn't any big deal anymore.
Scald now.
Scald, no Gastrodon on Davide's side anymore, so it can spread out your water moves finally.
3-1, Miguel Martí de la Torre. He has been able to finally get it down to just Celesteela here. 3 Pokemon in the lead. We are going into the final turn of the final here in London. And so Celesteela now being able to finally hit its Leech Seeds. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to hit many of its Leech Seeds or it hit a fair few, but it missed a 3 crucial ones in the last game. And Gastrodon and Garchomp here will be leading Miguel through to the final turn before he becomes the European International Champion. We see the Heavy Slam coming out from Celesteela here. It's going to go into that Garchomp slot. It's going to be able to do enough. 35 HP remaining. Scald coming out now as well onto the Gastrodon. It's going to go into that Celesteela's substitute. Will it break? It should break right now. There we see it going away. Puff of smoke. And the leftovers recovery from Celesteela. We are going to be waiting the judge's decision.
Yeah, we're waiting, but we already know his decision. Even maybe it would be difficult. And it's just very well played by Miguel. So I will say it's out loud now, because it's clear. We can wait for the judges here to do their work, but when we see on the face by David, when we see on the face by Miguel, we almost know it's most likely over.
So we just, once again, we have seen some brilliant play from both of these competitors here in the UK. There is a handshake. We see the judge's decision has been made. Miguel Martí de la Torre is your new European International Champion, the first of his kind. Congratulations to Miguel, and well played to both him and Davide. You can see that his friends in the community are going wild, and it's such a brilliant sight to see that Nemanja and I can bring you the first ever European International Champion. We're so honoured, and what a great game to commentate.